Thank you, and good morning to all of you. It's a pleasure to be here today to represent the National Ministries of the United Church of Christ alongside other colleagues of mine from the National Ministries. I wonder if those who are here would also stand so they can see you. Charles. We are all pleased to be here to pay tribute to the extraordinary and historic work of the United Church of Christ Media Justice Ministry. In the United Church of Christ, we embrace the fact that doing public advocacy and witness is part of our faith and essential to it. We also know that we can't only advocate for policy change while people are still hungry now and people are unhoused now. That would be not a very full faith. So we try to heed Micah's command to do justice and love kindness and walk humbly with our God. While we meet real needs today, we must also seek sustainable change through our public advocacy. Media justice and communication rights are core to that work. Think about it. How can we work for racial justice, economic justice, or environmental justice if we don't have the tools we need to publicize and explain these issues? How can we address human rights abuses both here and abroad if the stories of the oppressed cannot be shared and if their voices cannot be centered and raised? How can a democracy flourish if we do not have reliable and accurate information about what is happening in our communities, in our country, and indeed around the world? UCC Media Justice's work centers on two pillars. The first is open, accessible, and affordable communications. The second is supporting a media landscape that is diverse, competitive, and accountable. In regards to affordable communications, I want to particularly thank UCC Media Justice for its work to ensure that phone and internet rates for incarcerated individuals and their families are just and reasonable. That work has continued over many years, starting with the efforts of a grandmother to keep in touch with her imprisoned grandson. So from the passage of federal legislation in 2022 to adoption of the FCC's regulations last year to more court battles this year, UCC Media Justice has been on this work. Unfortunately, we watched as the FCC voted just this past week to reverse all of that work. And yet, we shall persist, even in the face of this resistance and adversity. And so I want to commend all of those who have worked on this issue and will continue to do so. The advocacy of UCC Media Justice stretches back to the days of its founder, Everett Parker, who we honor here today. This work asks the question, who gets to decide what we see and what we hear? Whether you're tracking social media or listening to FM radio, do you have a choice of voices? Will the next mega merger lead to layoffs of more working journalists? Do the decision makers truly reflect the wondrous diversity of this country? Today, when it seems that we are drowning in information, accountability becomes even more important. Again, a core piece of UCC Media Justice's work. Today's technologies can be a blessing, but sometimes, don't you know, they feel like a curse. A single meme or video can ricochet around the world in seconds with an impact that can either be uplifting or devastating. Today, our children can find community and companionship online, or they can be mercilessly harassed by a person or a bot. The power of social media is immense, and thus accountability tools must keep pace. For that reason, over the past year, and particularly at our denomination's General Synod meeting just this past summer, UCC Media Justice has worked to educate our members and congregations on what we all can do individually to promote thoughtful communication online. This campaign is called No Peace Online, KNOW, No Peace Online. It is based on 6 pillars to guide personal actions, as well as a curriculum that churches can use and thought-provoking articles to spur further reflection and discussion. I encourage you to check it out on their website. It is clear the work of UCC Media Justice is of great significance still, as technologies and media continue to evolve. Even if Everett Parker could never have imagined the pervasive impact of smartphones or artificial bots that could imitate humans, the values he promoted remain vitally important today. UCC Media Justice's great work is topped off every year with this fabulous event. And so now we're ready to recognize some incredible people who personify and model the values and the commitments that this ministry holds. So I want to turn the podium over now to the Reverend Donna Scopper to introduce our first honoree.